Oh, we said just the divas today.
Ooh.
Nobody else allowed. Just the divas today. No, I'm kidding. We love everyone. Well, hello, bonjour, hi. Well, yes. Hello, bonjour, hi. Welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay. I am a Coke Zero girly today again because I needed to get the 2-liter of Coke Zero that I had out of my fridge. Because as soon as we film this, I'm hosting a viewing party for season 17 of RuPaul's Drag Race, which we will be dropping coverage of tomorrow on the channel if you're watching this on the day that we put this video out. So stay tuned for that. But I've got water as well. And since David is not here, I have allocated myself on cute shirt duty. Also, I just got this shirt over Christmas and I haven't had a chance to wear it on the channel yet. But I've got my Jinx De La Holiday shirt. I got to see the Jinx De La Holiday show in Vegas. And if you get the opportunity in a future year to go see Jinx and De La do their holiday show, it is everything. It is everything. And speaking of Vegas, I've got my Drag Race Live fan as well, because why not?
Why not? Hi, everybody. I'm Lana, your resident evil diva. And I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Y'all know, hit me up. I am drinking just some water. Hydration is important. And I have my cup mug here.
I have mine too. It's got a lot of stuff in it currently. It's a holder for a lot of things currently.
Yeah, I took all of my things out because I just want to show it to you. But you can get your cup mug or any of our beautiful cup merch. If you've seen any of our other episodes we've done recently, people have showed them cup shirts, the cup water bottles. All of those things have made an appearance on this channel. So you really, really, really need to check out the merch store and get your cup merch. LanaG'sCreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses, even though it might take a little while in some places because it just is. But a delay is not a deny. So you can still get it. It just might take a while to get there, but it's coming. So they say. We'll see.
And hi, I'm River, your Brazilian correspondent here on The Cup. And while my cup mug is not here, I am drinking some water out of my giraffe mug.
That's a tall, cute giraffe mug. Love.
And it matches my top. So.
Oh, period. And speaking of tall, everyone had a tall order this week on episode 7 of Canada's Drag Race. We're going to talk about this challenge at length, but I loved this episode for a variety of reasons that we're going to dive into. And I just want to go into it. Before we do, though, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time giving you almost all things drag race, other drag shows, interviews in drag, interviews out of drag, all the things. And make sure to check out the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, and our Patreon for exclusive content and early access, as well as where you can find us on social media. Go follow us. We're cute. We're doing fun, cute things. So check all those out. But yes, we come back into the workroom and oh my God.
Don't even get me started. Truly. Such a loss.
Such a gem.
I'm upset.
Such a gem and a joy.
Yes.
Ugh.
I really hope that she doesn't feel like discouraged by maybe her experience with production, because I feel like maybe she was a little, and I understand because me too, same. But I really do hope that if she has the opportunity and is invited to come back for another season, I hope that she does, because I know that she has so much more to show, and I want to see it.
Agreed. Like, honestly, all of these girls are so... Like, this season, top to bottom, is so talented that, like... Can season 6 just be season 5, part 2? Throw them all back in.
Electric Boogaloo? Sure.
Right.
Correct. Yeah. Can we get Canada's Drag Race All-Stars, please? That's what I would like.
I mean,
that's what I would like personally in my soul. For my spirit, I would like a Canada's Drag Race All-Stars. And Drag Race UK All-Stars while we're at it. But
yes.
Because it seems like this year is going to be the year of the All-Stars from what we're being told. But yes, everyone's sitting down. Makayla gets all the congrats for winning the lip sync, and I do say Makayla specifically. Xana gets some more praise for winning the challenge. The girls are going on and on and on. And Virgo, honey, Virgo is in her feelings. Virgo's a little bit upset, and Virgo doesn't feel heard. And I lived for this moment where she was like, do y'all care what I'm talking about?
Do y'all care that I'm even here? I was like, ooh. Virgo said, enough is enough. What I'm not gonna do is let y'all just talk over me or just dismiss my feelings like it does not exist. Virgo's like, because I feel like y'all have congratulated Makayla, you have congratulated Xana, and we've moved on. Nobody said nothing about me. We ain't talking about okay. Oh, okay. I was like, oh,
all right.
Oh.
I'm glad she said something because honestly, it has, like, at least in the edit, a little bit, it has felt like the edit really hasn't been showing Virgo a whole lot since Angina left. And B, it does seem like the little bit that we're seeing of the girls interacting in the workroom, it's like the only person really like interacting all that much with Virgo up until this point is Makayla. Yeah. And so I'm really glad that Virgo said something. And I also did love that in confessional, she was like, I didn't realize how much I was holding this in and how much it actually bothered me until I started talking about it with the other girls. And it's like, sometimes you need those moments to actually understand, oh no, this is really bothering me more than I thought it was. And I love that self-realization moment for Virgo. Because I'm loving Virgo, but I'm loving all of these girls, so.
Yeah, I agree. It just, the only moment that it was a very entertaining moment right in the beginning, like we started good. But the moment that she said that really stood out to me is when she said, she was complaining that the girls didn't take track record into consideration while giving out the beaver. And you remember when she won the first week or second or whatever? And I said that it was going to come back to bite her in the ass because she didn't do the same. And then she was going to ask for that. And do you remember?
I remember.
Here we are. I knew it was going to happen, and it happened, and it was funny to me. It was camp. It was funny.
Fair.
It was entertaining.
Well, and even the girls
did I agree with everything that she said? No, but that's how she was feeling. And we only see a very small part of whatever happens. So with the edit, I don't really see where she's coming from, but that's not her fault. Maybe there's stuff that we didn't see or whatever. But she feels how she feels, and the girls were open to it and like did their best to kind of like hold space for her and listen and maybe try, like, now they can make an effort to try and interact with her more and like make her feel more welcome. Because I think it was Helena that said like that kind of like thanked her for saying it, because she was like, I didn't know that you felt that way, and now that I know, like, I'm gonna try to do better to make her you feel included, stuff like that. So I'm glad she spoke up as well.
Yeah, I'm glad she spoke up. I actually saw where she was coming from with that, because it felt very, very much like we're just going like she was involved in that whole situation as well. Like the 3-way lip sync, she was included in that. Nobody congratulated her. They congratulated Makayla and was like, you ate that lip sync up, girl. You was great, blah, blah, blah. And Virgo was like, wait, I won that lip sync. I won.
And she was also called first.
Right. And so it was like, she's like, I won as well. And nobody is acknowledging my win. And then with the beaver, everybody was like, well, like you said, the first week or the second week when it happened, and everybody was like, I think track record should be something we should think about and we should go on, da 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 da. And then when she's like, well, I'm going with my heart and my, blah, blah. And now when it comes back around and she's now in need of the beaver, everybody's like, well, we're not going to think about track record. It's just what I have to do. And she's like, but when it was me, track record was the thing. But now that I'm in need of it, track record is not a thing. Because if we're going by track record, she should have been somebody who got a beaver, according to track record, 2 wins and some high and mostly safes or highs. Like if they were going by track record, like everybody has said that they wanted to do at the beginning, we should go by track record. Track record is something important. Then let's do that throughout across the board. But then now when it came down to when she was in need and track record was no longer important, and she even said herself, like, if the roles were reversed and me and Makayla and Xana were at the top and the rest of y'all were at the bottom, y'all would have been like, let's go on track record.
Yeah.
And she would have been like, I think track record is important, because Perla would have been like, my track record is pretty good. Minhi would have been like, well, my track record is pretty good. Everybody would have wanted to go on track record at that time. But now that the situations are opposite, the people who were on top, who are now at the bottom, track record doesn't matter anymore. It's what happened in this challenge only.
But who set that precedent, though? Who was the first person that gave the beaver to the person that didn't have the best track record? Virgo. And so I understand her being upset that her wins were not taken into consideration. I get it. But also, when she was in that spot, she did what she felt was the best for her. And that's okay.
I think it was more her saying, when they were saying that that's what we wanted, and just because I get what you're saying about setting a precedent. I definitely understand that. And she did what was in her heart. But then that whole time they were trying to convince her to go by track record. Like, you should go by track record. Track record is important. But now track record is not important. Even though she didn't do it, it was important for everybody else. It was important for you to try to convince me to do it. But then when I say I want to go by heart, and y'all like, oh, well, you should have went by track record, man. And it was a problem. But now when she's in need, it's like, oh, so track record's not a thing still? We're not going to tell people to go by track record anymore? I get both sides of the coin. I think both arguments are legit arguments, and both feelings are valid on both ends. But in the end, it didn't matter, because I feel like Virgo is somebody who is very confident in her skills as a lip syncer. She knows what she's good at. And she knew, if you put me in this bottom, I'm going to lip sync my way up out of it. And she did. Her and Makayla did just that. And she was very comfortable. I just feel like in that moment, she was in her feelings, and it happens. We get in our feelings over the slightest things sometimes, especially in a competition like this.
Right.
The littlest things will go set us off. And it's like, I'm in my feelings, baby. I am in my feelings. And I love, like you said, how Helena gave her space, held space for her, and say, I appreciate you telling me this. I see this now. I didn't think it bothers you that much, but now that I know, we can do better. And
maybe the girls just thought that Virgo is more like quiet and likes to keep it to herself. And maybe Virgo was waiting for an invitation to join. Yeah. So like it's clearly a miscommunication kind of thing. Absolutely. Where they were willing to include her, but maybe they didn't think that she wanted to be like, who knows?
Included. Absolutely.
I'm just glad that they sorted all of that out.
And it was so quick. They sorted it very quickly from the edit anyway. I don't know how long it happened.
And they were like, move on, let's get out of drag. It's all good.
And that's what they did.
And they also acknowledge, and I didn't realize this until Xana brought it up, that it's literally Xana versus Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Like, we haven't had a Toronto dominant season like this since season 1. And I think it's really interesting. Five Toronto girls versus Xana. There were 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There were 6. Because the only Toronto girl to go home so far is Sanjina.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of wild, kind of crazy.
Kind of interesting.
Yes, God. But yes, so we come back into, they get out of drag. We come back into the workroom the next day. Brooke walks in looking, hey, gorge, as always. Love
Absolutely.
it. We get a mini challenge where they're all auditioning to be Brooke's new assistant.
Yes.
And I love, who was it? Helena was like, no, not more imp. I'm like, girl, it's a mini challenge. You're fine. It's a mini challenge. You're good. But I get it though.
I get it. She's like, I don't want to do that.
Right?
I don't want to do this.
And the reading challenge, that was like traumatic for everyone. They were like, oh my God.
Right. Like, please, can we not improv anymore? Can we not? Right.
Can we not and say that we
not
did?
and say we did? Like, please. But yes.
Period.
They did
I loved this mini challenge. It was so good.
I enjoyed it.
It was so funny.
I thought it was so funny. I thought each person's responses were what I expected, except for one. Like, everybody did what I expected them to do, except Minhi for me. Minhi was the only one who I was like, no, wait a damn minute.
Wait a damn minute.
Where did all this come from? Like, hold on, Minhi.
The girl is funny.
She's funny. And I was like, in a very stealthy kind of, I feel like Minhi in like real life is so chill, so relaxed, very calming. And like they said in the episode, wisdom just shining through. It's very calming. But in this mini challenge, I was like, wait, you kind of funny. You are interestingly funny. And like I said before, I can listen to Minhi talk all day. I just love their voice and the tone of it. But when they went to that high pitch and whatever, I can't even do it. I can't even try to impersonate that. But it was so funny to me. And the answers to the questions, like the Brad one, when she was like, how did I get Brad off my phone? And she was like,
she's spewing diarrhea all over the mirror.
The wall. The mirror.
When she was leaving, and then she said, Bradley, she's off the shitter.
Yes. So funny.
My other standout, and it's so interesting that in confessional, she was like, oh, I bombed. My other favorite was Perla.
Yeah.
I thought Perla was so when she was like, oh, what can do something to help me sleep, when she goes, ocean sounds, rainforest. I died. Like, that is the comedy that I live for. It's so like her Mary-Kate from last week, and that's why I love it, because it's that like dumb, stupid, dry sense of humor that I just love. I was like, I need like a full like desert oasis. Perla, I need an album of this.
Look,
I need an ASMR album, Perla.
Right. Rustling wind.
Perla, I'm gonna need an album. I'm gonna need an ASMR album. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I also loved Perla, but I had a different moment that I really got me. It was when Brooke asked, how do you handle conflict at work? And she just said, I cry.
I cry.
I am obsessed with her humor.
Me too.
She is so, oh my God, she really got me.
It was so good. I think those two were so funny to me. I was like, I want more of that. That was so funny. If the mini challenges are like this, I'm here for them. I'm like, okay. And
Canada's usually pretty good at doing these kinds of dumb mini challenges. Like, I mean, we got the one last week. Or what was it, 2 weeks ago? With the 90s one, which
the one with the products,
yeah.
Oh, I was
obsessed with that one. So funny.
It was so good. But we do get Minhi winning the mini challenge. Period. Minhi for the mini. Minhi winning the mini.
It was either Minhi or
Perla for me. Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah. Definitely. And we find out that the maxi challenge for this week is a design challenge. But not just any design challenge. We are designing custom couture looks for Brooklyn Heights.
Wild.
Gag.
Wild.
Everyone in the room gooped.
Everyone in the room
betriveled.
Diarrhea shit all over the mirror that Minhi had to clean up. Like,
so sickening.
But Brooke, she said, I'll be wearing you.
Oh.
And then Helena said, like our skin.
Like our skin?
Like our skin?
I love it. I love it. I
man.
loved it. I loved it.
She was like complaining about improv, but like
she's funny too.
She's fast. Yeah, no, she's quick.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said it on Twitter, and I don't remember who it was, but someone was like, if anyone on this season is going to Scarlet Bobo their way to the crown, it's Helena Poison. And I'm like,
I saw it.
Mm-hmm. Honestly,
I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after this week, we'll talk about it. But yes, so the girls have to create custom couture for Brooklyn. She'll be modeling it on the runway. And we're getting some help from Suki doll.
Suki doll.
See, first of all, I love this challenge, period. Like the whole idea of designing for the host, or even if it's like a guest judge, and like you have to design for someone else.
We've never had this challenge before on Drag Race. This is a completely new
We had something similar. Like the closest we got to this was the queens having to like redesign a RuPaul look from the winners, right?
When
that
they
was
did
like the closest.
But
this is everything.
Oh wait, no, didn't they do it on UK versus the World? Design a look, RuPaul didn't model that.
That RuPaul would wear, but they had to model it. That's the closest. Yes.
Yeah. So that's the closest.
That's the one.
But we've never had the judge act because RuPaul wouldn't do that shit.
Absolutely
she
not.
would not.
Would not do
no,
that shit.
Girl.
I love that Brooke
to
said
the fittings and all of that. No.
Oh, and then I love that Brooke was like, "I'm excited and terrified to see what you're gonna put together." And Makayla was like, "Me too, girl.
Me too, girl." Like, what I love the most is that not only did they take into consideration that they were designing this look for Brooklyn, and Suki doll was going to, be there to help them. But actually, that Suki was given 15 minutes apiece with them to do whatever they needed Suki to do, like help with the garment and make sure all the proportions are right, because Suki knows Brooklyn's body better than Brooklyn almost. And so she knows exactly what, you need to do, what looks good, what doesn't look good for Brooklyn. And so for them to give them that moment with Suki to go through and be like, okay, 15 minutes to just do what we need to do for this garment. Tell me what to do. And I liked how each girl utilized their time with Suki, because it was like, when are you gonna get that again? You're not gonna get 15 minutes with Suki to go through all the stuff and help with something that you might not know how to do properly yourself. So I loved it. My favorite part of that moment when Suki came in after the walkthrough with Brooklyn was when she got to Makayla and she was like, "Do you have a zipper?" And Makayla was like, "Oh my God, zipper! Where's the zipper? Oh, zipper! Zipper!" And she went, and Suki was like, "Have your stuff ready when I get here, girl."
Girl, like, be prepared when you come to the table.
I want to say how happy I am that they brought back Suki, because Suki is one of my favorite queens that's ever been on Canada's Drag Race. She is such an integral part of, I think she has been an integral part of every single season of looks for Canada's Drag Race. I'm pretty sure it's every single one of them. And like, she's made several looks for the girls this season. She's made looks for Makayla. She's made looks for a lot of the Toronto girls throughout the years. And I just love that we're getting her acknowledged on the show again, and B, brought in this capacity. If we're not going to have her back on another season, and let's be real, I don't know that she would do the best. I don't know what would happen, but I am happy that at the very least we're acknowledging how talented Suki is and bringing her back in this capacity, and also bringing in someone who has dressed Brooklyn on several occasions, knows Brooklyn's body, knows what looks good on her, and is helping these queens make sure that this challenge is as good as it possibly can be. So I want to shout out Canada Drag Race for bringing in Suki, and I want to shout out Suki for being an icon, a legend, and she is the moment.
She is the moment. Come on now. I mean, because if this did not work, if this challenge flopped, we would never see it again. So I'm glad that they were able to do it the way they did it. And for the most part, I feel like it turned out really, really well. Really, really well. And I enjoyed it. And so I love that Canada is taking risks doing something different. And Brooklyn is up to doing that. Like, because like you said, Rue would never. And honestly, Rue was at that point in her life where she don't ever have to. And she would never have to do it again. And it's nobody would question that. Nobody would be like, now Rue, why wouldn't you just go on? Like, she RuPaul.
And on top of that, Brooklyn is a design challenge winner. She knows how to do these. I was like, is someone gonna literally recreate her design challenge look from season 11? Because that's absolutely what I would have done. I absolutely would have just done the same thing she did with some variations, and like that's what I would have done at least. But no, everyone's deciding to do gowns with flowing drapey,
but because the category is, it's not just make a look for Brooklyn, right? Yeah. It's supposed to be like a couture, like whatever.
Yeah.
Not really what couture really means, like for real, the actual definition, but it's supposed to be something elevated, I guess would be the best word. Like not like we had like the fast fashion challenge. Right. It's the opposite of that, right? The other direction. And so I loved that they had the two different moments that they had. That was first
the dichotomy of these, like, absolutely.
No, I mean first like the interview kind of with the client and the designer.
The designer.
Like the co-designers, right? Because it's like the queen that is designing and Suki that is helping. So like we had both the client's vision and what Brooke wanted, and Suki giving like the technical advice. So I loved seeing both sides together at the same time. And then when Suki was helping, it was interesting, like you said, Lana, the way that each of them, because it was really smart to be like, she can help you with whatever you specifically need. Because one person was like, I can sew, I can do all of that, but I take a long time putting on a zipper. And she can do it like that. I think it was, I don't remember who it was, but
I think it was Helena.
I think it was Helena. Yeah, that sews. And like I feel that because I sew, but I cannot put a zipper. It's a struggle. I can't. So
it's very like bringing in. It's very like bringing in a helper during
Project Runway,
Fashion Week on Project Runway. Like it felt
absolutely.
So good.
It's very what season 1 was supposed to be.
Yes. Allegedly, and I also love the dichotomy of these as well on this season, where our first design challenge was a fast fashion design challenge, and then now we're getting the second design challenge being this like custom couture challenge. I love that. Like Canada is always so smart when it comes to the way that they approach the challenges, and I feel like they are on the forefront of like the meta of Drag Race now, and I'm loving it. I'm just absolutely loving
I agree, because I hadn't thought of that angle of like we got to see two different visions of the queens. Like what in your brain, in your vision as a drag queen, if you had to do a simple look and if you had to do a more complex look. So we get both, and I love it.
Love that.
Yeah. A lot of the other workroom stuff is a lot of the same, echoing what we got in previous challenges. Virgo and Makayla.
There was one highlight.
Yes.
Makayla talking to herself. So mean. That really, truly, I love that girl.
Talking to the table, talking to the sewing machine, talking to the fabric, talking to
the fabric.
And then Helena going, Makayla, girl, who are you talking to? And she goes, me my motherfucking self, and I.
Period.
And
she was like, Makayla, they gonna think you crazy. These girls gonna think you crazy over here talking to yourself. But yeah, I was like, that tracks, because I talk to myself when I'm doing something, when I'm creating a task, and it's like, I have to.
Yeah.
And also Xana, in the walkthroughs, when she said a front train, I was like, what do you mean?
Right. Front train, the
with
new
all the love
skirt?
in the world. What do you mean?
What exactly do you mean a front train? Like, explain. Explain.
I don't see the vision. I don't see the vision.
I don't understand.
I saw exactly the vision of what happened. So when she said it, I was like, I predicted it. It's
we'll talk
very
about
easily.
it.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it.
Yes.
I want to talk about getting ready in the workroom on Elimination Day, and the queens are talking about whether they're, full-time, whether they're part-time, things like that. We find out that Minhi is full-on working in healthcare, working as a physiotherapist on the side, and then also doing drag. Like, that's incredible.
That's a lot of energy and effort.
That's so much.
Kudos. I mean, I could never.
I'm sitting here like,
incredible.
Oh my God, that's so much. I don't know how she balances that. Me also sitting here with basically 4 full-time jobs, including this podcast. So like, I know how she handles it because I know how I handle it. So props to you, girl, because I get it. And we also get Makayla talking about how coming out of high school and being in the pandemic, like she kind of had to go full-time into drag because there were really no other like big job opportunities for her. And all of the girls were really praised. And I remember being on social media after season 2 of Canada's Drag Race aired, and I saw so many videos of Makayla popping up all over Toronto doing gigs and like getting in there. And I was like, okay, cool. She's going to be on here one of these days. And hey, guess what? 3 years later, she's on Canada's Drag Race. And I'm happy for her. I love that for her.
I'm so happy that she had that opportunity. And I'm happy that she's one of the people that had a person close to her that was able to, I'm assuming, open a lot of doors for her, that she was able to be full-time so quickly. So I'm really happy that is her experience. I just wish that it becomes easier and easier for anyone that wants to do drag to have those opportunities, because if everyone is as talented as Makayla, I mean, I would like to see it.
Now, come on. Now.
I'm happy that she was able to do that because she was meant for it. Period.
Absolutely.
And I love that Minhi was like spreading her wisdom about like, it's never too late to, start a creative venture. And everyone was like, oh my God, come on, wisdom, Minhi. And Minhi going, I'm Jaylene now. I forget that Minnie's almost 40.
She's 40.
Like,
wow.
Gag to the gag, gag. To the gag.
Wow.
But I love it.
Love it.
So
I don't know if she's going to be able to keep working in healthcare after, like now. Who knows? But, who knows?
I mean, I think she'll definitely have the opportunity to get more gigs now. She just won't have to be at the retirement home. Just that, that won't be her only gig now. I think more places will open up for Minhi, and then they'll make that decision if they want to continue part-time.
Or maybe she'll do drag in the retirement home.
Well, that's what she did.
Like,
she does
too. Oh,
that's what she does. She does
volunteer.
That's what she did. She did drag in this the home because it made the residents laugh and enjoy and have a good time. And that's what Xana was like, that is so wonderful that you are doing something to bring joy in people's lives who are usually in a place that they're at the end of their lives, more closer to the end than they are at the beginning, and it brings them joy, and it brings you joy seeing them have joy. And that's what drag is about. I was like, absolutely. And so I love that. I would love Minhi to be able to start doing more gigs at, because she doesn't do clubs, as she said. She doesn't do a lot of clubs, but open it up for her to do some and do a lot more. And then so she could go back and forth and find that good balance between working her healthcare job, working the healthcare position, and then having that creative outlet. Like she said, that's what drag is, her creative outlet, and do that and be able to go and, sure, she won't be able to do it every night. Won't be one of those every night queens, like working in every club, because she got to go to work in the morning. So it's like, on a certain weekend, maybe holiday gigs, maybe, little gigs here and there, special performances, and that would be fun. I would love that for her. And she's so talented. I think she would eat it up. She would eat it up.
I agree. Well, with that being said, shall we go off to the runway?
I think we shall.
right now, right here, first recap of the year. This panel's coming for Best Dress Panel of the Year.
It's cerulean.
It's cerulean. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it so much. And I loved it even more that Serene Fox was a guest judge. I was like, mother.
This hair on her.
Oh my God.
I love this haircut.
Serene. I fucking love her. I love her.
Also, Tracy in the pants. Oh my God.
The only thing I don't love. The only thing I don't love is at the top and the pants are not the exact same shade of blue, but I will let it slide.
Are they not?
It's a jumpsuit. I think it's just her corset.
It's just the corset.
Maybe showing, I think. It's like the undergarment is showing, I think.
Okay, then that's what it is. Never mind.
Yeah.
It's
Brooke looks great.
Brooke looks great. Brooke looks wonderful.
At first, you know what I thought it was with Brooke? I thought it was like a wrap-up dress so that she already had the first look that she was going to model underneath it. But then I was like, oh no, because it's too high. The slit is too high in the front, so it's not that. But I thought that was a tie, like a tie-up robe type dress. I would have still thought it was super cute, and it would have been so fun to see. But
I think it was also something. I think it still is because it needs to be an easy dress for her to get out of and change.
I was gonna say
change so many times. Yeah.
So,
and she also did like a makeup and hair that would go with everything,
like
with
everything,
an updo, but with also like hair in the back. Like she knows what she's doing.
She knows what she's doing. She knows exactly what she's doing.
It definitely went with some looks better than others, and we'll talk about it. But I do love, the look on her. So. Let's talk about our challenge. Typically, we don't talk about looks on the recap, but since this is the challenge today, we're going to talk about the Brooklyn looks. Category is The Devil Wore Custom. First up, we have Brooklyn Heights as dressed by Minhi Wang. River, what do you think of this?
I love this. When I saw the drawing, I saw the vision. But then when she was talking about it and showing it in the walkthrough, and when we saw it in the workroom when she was working on it, I was like, ooh, she really missed me there. I was like, I started to get worried. But then when this came out, I was gagged because I can see Brooklyn actually wearing this. Like, not just because she had to for the challenge. I can see her picking this herself to wear. Maybe not for like a hosting runway, or maybe even for that. I don't know, depending on the theme. But honestly, this felt like something very Brooklyn and also very Minhi. And I don't remember who was that said about the details on the waist, like the stony on the waist.
It was Brad.
That makes that shape.
It was Brad.
Yeah. That gives it that shapes, because with black and especially black velvet, you lose a lot on the runway. And so it was a really smart choice. And also putting the stones like everywhere there's a seam, so you hide any possible mistakes. Incredible. And the styling is great with the gloves and everything. This is so good.
This is so good. I can see Brooklyn wearing this on the show. I can see her wearing this on a red carpet. I can see her wearing this in a performance. I can see her wearing it. It just looked good on her. I like the short, like, shift mini dress with the asymmetrical line in the front, and then, like you said, the stoning where the stoning was. It was perfectly placed. It just looks elegant. It looks rich. It looks functional. It looks beautiful, and the colors are stunning. This was good. I'm very, very glad that she took it and cut it and wasn't gonna make it a long full gown and cut it into a shorter dress. That just did something, because what she drew, like you said, saw the vision, loved it, but what she came up with, loved it even more.
Also, because Brooke said, I want to show a lot of black or none at all. So the girls were like, okay, got it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love this. The one thing I will say, the hair doesn't work for this look for me personally, but that's beyond the point. I'm not counting Minnie off on that. I think it's such a good look. She really, and I love how simple it is, but how embellished it is, and how full it is, because all of those things scream Minnie Wang to me. Like it's simple but very effective. The way she has stoning on here, the combination with this red and black kind of cape arm situation, the glove is so good, the accessories are so good, all of it. I lived.
Yep.
And it made Brooklyn look very tall and statuesque, and not all of the looks did that. So I appreciated that it felt very intentionally designed with Brooklyn in mind.
Yeah.
Scores
90.
93.
94.
Work.
Let's talk about Brooklyn as dressed by the Virgo Queen.
So I'll start with what I love. I love the colors. And I love the fabric choices. I do love the mix of velvet with that. I don't know what the pink fabric was, but it's shiny. I love that mix, and the colors work well together. The silhouette is good. Where she lost me was in the details. Right. The finishing touches, the details, all of that. The draping was good in some parts, but in some parts it was a little bit messy. I really like the draping of the blue fabric on the waist. That looks beautiful. The draping of the pink fabric is where I don't like it as much. But the thing on the arms as well makes it very beautiful. And when she's like posing and walking, gives that flowy, the flowiness to it. Unfortunately, the idea is there, but the execution lacks.
Yeah, I mean, there is no question about it that the execution is just not where it is, and even Virgo knew it. The technicalities and the technical issues were very apparent. The idea was there. A lot of it. It looks beautiful. I think the idea and what she was going for would have been beautiful. The fabric she chose, beautiful. The what she was trying to do, I get it. I see it. It's just in the technical details of it all that just didn't come out the way it goes. Some of her draping, like you said, the blue draping around that waist, stunning. I just don't, it's like the top. I'm not feeling the top, and the pink fabric underneath that. It's just not doing what it needs to do. But I will say this, as much as this wasn't technically right, the way Brooklyn walked this look made it look so much more gorgeous than it actually probably should have been. Like, she sold this on a runway, which makes me say Brooklyn is a model. Like, you want to put your clothes on her because she is going to make that garment look so much better than even if it's not the best looking garment, she makes it look stunning. So she sold this, but it was technical issues.
And that's why I'm happy that in the first iteration of this kind of challenge that it is Brooklyn, because Brooklyn is so model-esque. Brooklyn is like, she knows how to model a garment. She knows how to move in a garment to make herself look good. And she did look great in this look. There's a lot about this from Virgo that I do really like. Honestly, for me, get rid of the pink panel underneath. I think, honestly, just that alone would have added so much to the look. And this is the one moment where I actually think something that Suki said in the workroom threw her off. When Suki suggested, because Virgo came to them with two different designs. It was a more like costumey, kind of like trans superhero, and then also this like elegant gown. When Suki said you could combine the two, I honestly think it threw Virgo off a little bit. Because she did then end up trying to blend the two, and I don't think it was as successful as it could have been. I just wish take this pink panel away and kind of build all of this ruching onto the side of the gown in this blue and leave the blue and pink detailing on the arms. And I think it would have been a more successful look. But it did look good as far as, you know, Brooklyn modeling it went. So scores.
72.
I give it a 74.
I gave her a 63. Next up, shocker, Brooklyn Heights, modeling Helena Poison.
See, I love this. I love this. I love the asymmetry. I love that it kind of looks like a sash that is coming from one side to here and then becoming like the huge tulle. It just, the textures are so interesting, and it could, with it being like black and gray and white, it could be boring potentially, but it's not, because the texture and the shape is so interesting. I When I saw it on the mannequin before they came out, I was a little like, I was worried because it was not looking so good. But then when Brooke came out, I love this. This looks like something someone could have brought from home. Like, it's so good.
Yeah, this is pretty. This is very, very pretty. This black and gray and white and silver combination that she got is so pretty. Like, I love that combination. What I love about this is that Helena still made it look like Helena, even though she was making it for Brooklyn. So it's like we've been saying this for since the beginning. Anybody who knows how to make their brand is Helena Poison. And Helena Poison is putting her stamp on everything in this competition. And this look was not even for her. And she was like, but y'all go know Helena Poison had something to do with this.
Yeah.
The way, the edginess of the dress, the tulle popping out the side, it's so punk, it's so edgy, it's so Helena. You just have to love it. And Brooklyn looks so good in it, and she felt comfortable modeling it, that it's like it is for Brooklyn, but Helena could also wear this and it'll still make sense. Like, that's what I love about it. Like, the two of them could share this outfit and it would just make sense on both of them. It doesn't look out of place on Brooklyn, and it wouldn't look out of place on Helena. So I love it for that reason. And Brooklyn just showed it. She looked like she was having fun with it. And in it.
I don't know about y'all, but this was my favorite look of the night from this challenge. I really like what does it for me is I'm going to go back to what Brooke said in the challenge description, in that this challenge and these looks were supposed to be something for Brooklyn, but still easily recognizable as the queen who designed them. And for me, the difference between Helena and Minhi, who were the clear top two for this challenge, is that Minnie's looks good. It's polished. It's well done. It looks like it could have come from several different queens on this season. This look could not have come from several different queens on this season. I absolutely love
Minhi,
this.
if you told me Minnie's dress was made by Perla, I would believe you.
If it was made by Makayla, I would have believed you.
I would have believed, yeah.
And that's no shade to Minhi, because it just comes down to there was a more easily recognizable stamp on Helena's look for me than Minnie's. Minnie's was still great, and we'll talk about, spoiler, Minhi winning the challenge. But for me, I just love this. I love that Helena went so different with this as well. I love that it's a short gown. I love all the horsehair detailing, and then all of this tulle just piled onto the side of this. It's not something we've really ever seen Brooklyn in, but it's something I absolutely could see Brooklyn in. So, scores.
I agree. because I agree with you. This was also my favorite. So I gave it 1 point more. I gave it a 90.
For me, it wasn't my favorite of the night in this category, but I still loved it a whole lot, and I gave it a 94.
I gave her a 97. Next up, Brooklyn Heights, as dressed by Xana.
So there's a lot that I like about this. My favorite part is the pearls on the shoulder. That's beautiful. I love that. I also love the idea of having like the two fabrics going around each other, like the having the dark blue here and then the light blue here. So like waist up, I like it. Waist down, mm, it's not bad, but it's just the waist down is a little messy and a little hard to walk. You know, I predicted that the front train was going to be a problem, and it was. It
Yep.
was. And like I said, Brooklyn is like such a model, and she knows how to work a runway in a garment. And if she was having trouble walking in it, like,
Yeah.
you know, but honestly, waist up, I really love it. Truly.
Okay, so I like the color, and I like the shoulder, and I like the pearls. I really like that. It's the bottom part of this dress for me that I'm like very much thrown off with. It looks a little ill-fitted. The front train just never was gonna work. When she said it, I was like, "Yeah, no, that's not working," and it didn't work. Um, I I don't know if I even like the sash. I'm not I'm not sure I'm a fan of the sash, but I love the pearls going down the sleeve and the arm. I think that's such a pretty detail, and I like the pearl that she has pearls on the dress itself. I just feel like it just looks like the bottom half is swallowing Brooklyn up, and it doesn't look like it's not like cinched, or I don't know. It's certain things it's just not, it just feels off. But like you said, the top part I rock with. It's the bottom part that falls apart for me.
See,
Same. Like,
I'm shocked. No, I'm shocked because she did so well on the fast fashion challenge. That thing that she created, like,
I'm
shook.
It looks like she could have swapped those designs, honestly. Like, this feels a little bit more, no shade, but it feels like it could fit a little bit more of the fast fashion. I really just wish she had just done a column dress with this, because honestly, I don't know that she would have been in the bottom if she had just done a column dress. Like, I appreciate doing the front train, trying to make the front train the new knee skirt. I get it, and I love it, and I'm here for it, but it just didn't work in this capacity. But what I do love is this sash across the front in this like blue. I love the crossing over of those fabrics. I love the pearl on the sleeve. I kind of wish maybe we got some pearl detailing in the slit on the leg too. I think that would have been really fierce, just to add a little bit of visual interest to the leg as well. But yeah, the front train does not. Literally rotate the front train 90 degrees, and I think it would have worked. That's all she needed to do, for me at least. But scores
80.
75.
69.
Nice.
Go. Next up, shocker, it's Brooklyn Heights, as styled by Perla.
See, I really love this. The silhouette, everything, if you think about it, is a little bit simple, but also not really, because the details elevate it. Like, the silhouette is simple. It's a mini dress with some draping, but the draping is beautiful. It's very intentional. The placement of the white, I don't know if it's lace, but like the white flowery thing and the blue, like it's very well put together and very like I said, very intentional with everything. And that's why I love it, because I don't care if something is simple, if it is good.
Effective.
And this
Absolutely.
is good. Yeah, and I mean, she looks beautiful. It has enough interest that, like I said, it elevates from that basic silhouette, and it worked. I love the high neck
Mm-hmm.
with the no sleeve. I love this style of dress. So yeah, this really works for me.
I like this. I thought it was very pretty. The color is pretty. I like like you said, the high neck and the short skirt and the no sleeves. I like this silhouette. I think it was just a really, really good design. I love what she did with. I like the long hanging parts on the side, and then it just worked. I think this is such a pretty color. It would have been such a great design if it didn't have its own malfunctions on the dress. Other than that, I thought this dress was very pretty, but I don't like seeing panty. And so when Brooklyn turned around and we saw the panty, it was like, oh, it just took me out the fantasy of how good this is, unfortunately.
The
But
fantasy,
the
perhaps.
fantasy of it all, absolutely. It took me out of it. But it's still such a beautiful silhouette. It's a beautiful silhouette. So did the fantasy of it all bring the score down just a little? Just a little. But the overall design and how this dress looks, gorgeous.
Not this look fitting both runway things.
Yeah,
Literally. And I kind of lived for that. I think that's honestly what, because I mean, Perla and Makayla, we'll talk about it, we're both technically safe. But I think that's what put Perla a little bit above Makayla in that regard. I was like, oh, Perla's on track to get another top placement, period. Come on, Perla. Because I love the front of this. I love the way that all of this is draped. This white lace detailing is so good. It's so colors that fit Brooke so good. And then she turned around, and then and then she turned around. And that's really all I have to say. But front of the garment, love the front of the garment.
Kudos.
Scores.
84.
87.
79 because of the fantasy.
The fantasy was
And
why
the
she got an
panties
87.
were black. Like if the panties were
fantasy.
white.
Right.
Well, that's
white
on
or
Brooklyn.
blue.
That's on Brooklyn. That has nothing to do with
true.
Perla. That's
That
on
is true.
Brooklyn.
That
So,
is true.
but she also wasn't expecting the fantasy to be shown.
To be showing. So, absolutely.
Exactly, yeah. And last up, we have Brooklyn Heights, shocker, as dressed by Makayla Couture.
Hello? What happened?
Hello?
How much did Kimmy do? Or not Kimmy, Suki. I'm like, hello. This is so good. Like I mean, it is simple in a lot of ways, but for this challenge, for Makayla, for what they were asked to do, this is great. Like I said, I love this. I love the this shape, this silhouette in the top, like the high neck and no, like, and kind of like what I have right now, but with the high neck. Live for that. The shoulder detail is so beautiful. I love the placement of it in the pearl detail. So good. I love the TD pearls. I honestly, I don't like the pearls around the waist on the bottom part. I could go without that. I'm not mad at it, but if I could change anything about it, I would remove the pearls on the skirt. But other than that, this I don't see anything wrong with this. This is great. The fabric and the color are beautiful. I love this color.
This was my favorite look of the night with this one. I said Makayla absolutely just stunned me. I was so shocked. I was not expecting this. The way this dress fits Brooklyn like a glove is crazy to me. Crazy to me. It was so good. I love the high neck with the shoulders, and then the sleeves things coming down the arms, and the peekaboo sleeves on the shoulder. I love that detail. The like I said, the titty pearls, love it. I don't mind the pearls on the hip. I don't mind the hip pearls because it just gives me something else extra to look at down at the bottom. Because if it was nothing down there, I'd be like, it's cute, still cute, but it gives me something else to look up to. I think it would be great if those things were removable, so you could sometimes wear it with it, or you could wear it without it, and that'll make it even better. You'd be like, work. I think this is beautiful. I love the colors, the color, and the fact that she went with no slit. So Brooke, because Brooke said, I'm gonna either show all leg or no leg, and she was like, no leg it is. And one of the only people that did that, I'm here for it. It's so good. It's so good. And this hair goes with this look perfectly. Perfectly. It's good.
This is where the hair fit the absolute best. I absolutely loved this. I'm so sorry. Judges, all of y'all, Brooklyn, Brad, Tracy, Serene, I'm even including you, Serene, and I love you. Why was Makayla Couture not given a top placement in this challenge? Because this look ate down. This is so good. Why was Makayla low? That does not make sense to me. Based on her runway, okay, Brad, you can get over it. You can get over it, Brad. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm sorry. Makayla deserved a top place. I'm glad she was safe, technically. By all things considered, that she was safe. I'm very happy for that. But she deserved a top placement because this garment, especially, no shade, Makayla, after what we got from her in the fast fashion challenge, this garment deserved a top placement. I love the titty jeweling. I love the way this ruffle sleeve comes down, and then all of this beautiful tulle coming off of it. The color combination with this like dark purple tulle with this like pink is so good. The cut of the
everything works. When
everything
it's good,
Makayla could have won this challenge. Makayla could have won this challenge.
I wouldn't have been mad at it.
I wouldn't have been mad at it either because it was deserved. But I guess
by my scores, because we're getting into spoiler alert. Honestly, my top 3 are divided by 1 point. Like,
mine too.
Honestly, either of the 3 could have won, and I would have been happy about it. I gave this an 89.
I gave this a 96.
I gave her a 90.
I love this. This is my favorite.
It was so good. It was so good. But we're going to talk about the wardrobe malfunction runway over and look over here, so make sure to check that out. But we got to dive into this Untucked, baby.
Oof.
This Untucked.
Oof.
This Untucked. So it starts out perfectly lovely. Perfectly fine. We got Minhi and Helena in the top, and they're acknowledging that. We got Xana in her feelings because she's in the bottom, and sure, valid. And before I say anything else, I also want to say everyone's feelings in this matter, valid.
Yes.
And these girls have since worked out these issues. So if you're sending any hate to anybody involved in this, I mean, our fans wouldn't do that. But if you are watching this and you are sending hate to anyone involved in this, do better. Period. Do better. There's no reason. They've resolved these issues. They've acknowledged on social media that they've resolved these issues. You don't need to be up in these comment sections sending hate to these people. Don't do it. Just don't do it. But with that being said,
have your opinion about it, right? Have your opinion about it. Feel how you feel about it. Yes. But if it's hateful, just keep it to yourself. Like it's that simple. That's it.
I mean,
here's my opinions. We'll get into it, but yeah, it was a year ago. Like they're friends
I'm about
now.
to say. That's what I'm about to say. Y'all do realize this show was taped a year ago. So why are we like the hate for what? What reason? Because you just not seeing it? These are real life people with real life feelings and real life emotions, and they went through this and they've resolved this. They don't need you coming back a year later to put your 2 cents in and try to bring more and try to divide what they already fixed. Like, it's unnecessary. Like who you like, appreciate your fave without trying to tear down somebody else. Like, let's not do that.
Period.
Let's not do that.
But
also, we don't have the full story. We have an edit, and let's talk about the edit that we saw from these reality television contestants.
These are characters on a reality TV program.
Yes. And I just want to preface, my opinions about it are about what we saw and what we saw on the TV show. I don't know these girls personally. I actually, from what I do know, they are all lovely human beings. So it's just my opinion on the TV that we saw. That's it. Let's get into it.
Because I lived for this, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. I lived
the entertainment.
The entertainment value. At the expense of, unfortunately, Makayla's feelings in this moment, because we do get Xana talking, and Makayla's living in her joy. She's coming off of a very, very good performance in this challenge. And Xana's like, well, she was tripping over your garment a few times.
Right after Makayla literally had just said, I don't think anyone could take away this joy. And Xana was like, oh.
Hold my beer.
That's a challenge. She was like, she saw that as a challenge. Like, oh, are you sure?
Let me see if I can. I was just like.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It was TV moment for sure. Entertainment. It depends on what you like. Your brand of joy and entertainment. What you like for entertainment. I personally was just like, oh, Xana, no, girl, because like I have come so far with Xana in this journey on watching Drag Race. I've come to like not getting it to getting it to understand it to be like, okay, that's just, she's a sweet person. She's still, and I still believe that she's a sweet person. She's kind. She has a good heart. Sometimes she just says things at the wrong times. I think Xana has a very foot in mouth disease sometimes, and that she just says what she feels. And she don't. One thing I appreciate about Xana, if she go say it, she go say it with a whole chest, and she go stand on it.
Yeah.
And she go stand on business in her rights and in her wrongs. She will stand on what she says, and like, I don't understand what the problem is. I didn't do anything but state the truth. She was tripping on her garment. She did trip on her garment. So I don't understand what she's so upset about. But that's my opinion. That's how I feel. And I'm like, sure, that is how you feel. That is, she might have tripped on her garment. Absolutely, probably. I don't remember. But do you have to always say it?
Did you have to say it in that moment?
In that moment.
But she could have said it later. But did you have to say it right after someone was saying how happy and proud of themselves they were? Like,
and my
the
joy
moment is my thing, not what she said. Because
very
what she
much
said was no big deal.
It's very much you were trying to take the joy that she had. It just built herself up, especially after coming off of the design challenge where she was in and she was in the bottom because it was horrible. And this time she was able to redeem herself in a design challenge and actually do well. And then you turn around and you just said, you know what? Here's a load of crap. I'm going to crap all over your moment right now. I'm just going to crap all over your happiness, your joy, crappity crap. And Makayla was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I just said I was happy. Nobody's going to take my joy. And you decided you were going to try to take my joy. I'm sick of it. And if this was the first time Xana said something to Makayla, I probably would have been like, okay, Makayla, calm down.
Right.
Relax.
Like, if this was an isolated incident, it would have been a different thing.
I'd be like, Makayla, it's okay.
And
girl,
even And even when they were de-dragging at the start of this episode, Makayla was like, I think we're getting to a point where, we're gonna, it's gonna be a little bit of a tussle.
And I was just like, if this was the first time she did that to Makayla, I probably would have been like on the side of, okay, Makayla, you took it a little too far. It's okay. You can calm down a little bit. But the fact that Xana has been doing this over and over to not just Makayla, but to Uma, but to other people, it's just like, yeah, I just got thrown off by that. It just was like other people. It just felt like wow. I don't. It just seems weird. It just seems weird. It didn't. The time was off. So I understand why Makayla felt that way. I understand why Makayla reacted that way. It was like, girl, I just said you can't take my joy.
To hold back.
She
was
did.
Trying to hold back at first. She was like, I saw in her face that when Xana first made the comment, Makayla was, I saw her expression change from like the joy to like the shock. And then she was like, I'm sorry. And gave an opportunity to Xana for Xana to be like, no, I mean, or correct herself and be like, no, this is how I mean. This is what I mean.
Right.
But Xana was just like doubling down.
She doubled down.
And then Makayla said, hold my drink, bitch.
Right. And hold my thing.
I saw that she tried to hold back as much as she could because she knew that in the moment that she started speaking up, it was gonna go off. And it did.
It did.
And I understand. And so did the other girls. When she came back, because she exploded, she said, I'm done. She went off the room that they were on Untucked, like talking to production. And then she came back and she gave it back. She threw it back to Xana. She said, now you're gonna listen to me. You're gonna listen to what I have to say and how I feel. And she called Xana
disgusting.
She said this, and you know what? That's how she felt in that moment.
That's how she felt.
That's it. And what made me, like I said, they all resolved this. It's fine. No big deal. But when Minhi was trying to tell Makayla how she should react, I got mad.
I did too.
That's the one thing. I was like, so when Xana was coming from Makayla, everyone was just listening and letting her. But then Makayla is reacting, and then you want to tell her what she can or can't say.
Don't tone police her.
We're not doing. We're not doing.
What we're not going to do is tone police her and tone police what she could say. She has a right to react to what was said to her.
Yep.
Period.
Yes. And they're friends. So I understand Minhi being like, in her head, she probably said that because she was like, this is going to be on TV. You're going to regret doing this, whatever. She was probably in like protective mode. But the way that the intention was good. I can tell that the intention was good. Because I don't feel Minhi is like that. I feel like she did that because she was trying to help. But the impact that it had was different than her intention.
Yeah.
And so that was the moment that I was a little like, you can tell her after, like, hey, maybe, like, but not in the moment. Don't be telling her how to feel in that moment.
And in the end, I don't even like how Minhi waited and when Makayla calmed down and was like, you calling her disgusting was taking it too far. Don't tell her how to, don't tell her how to say what she feels like saying in that moment. If she regrets it, guess what? She'll deal with that regret later. But you don't get to tell people how to feel and what's right and what's wrong when their feelings were hurt. And in that moment, Makayla's feelings were hurt because Xana was really coming for her joy. And that was the whole purpose. It wasn't the fact that she was going to say things. It was the fact that she was coming for her joy. She wanted to take the little bit of happiness that she had about making a good design, and she wanted to spit on it. Now, maybe Xana didn't mean it like that, but that's what it came off as. It came off as her just spitting and crapping on her moment. And it was like, dang, I can't even have a good moment with you without you coming behind me talking about something. Well, it was good, but she did trip over your garment, so it wasn't that perfect. And it's like
people are trying to tell Makayla how to feel twice.
Right.
Because
twice.
Makayla was feeling good, and then Xana was like, "No, you should not feel good. Actually, you should feel bad because this. And then when Makayla was feeling bad, Minnie was like, "No, but you shouldn't feel that bad because what?" And I was like, if I was Makayla, I would have stabbed.
I would have lost it. I would have lost it because it's like, don't tell me how to feel. Don't tone police what I am trying to say. I am upset and I have a right to be upset. And in this moment, I'm going to tell my feelings. And
and Virgo supported her.
Yes. Virgo was like, let her speak.
Was like, oh, whatever. Virgo was like, let her speak.
They need to get this out. Let her speak because, and let's just be honest, and people might not like me bringing it up, women of color get tone police more than anybody else. And it's always other women or other women of color trying to be like, girl, it's okay. You ain't got to do that. We don't have to do No. And we don't like when white people tone police us, and we don't like when our own are trying to tone police us because you know how this feels. And so I felt like in that moment, Makayla was just like, I'm done. I am sick of this girl doing this because not only has she done it to me several times, she's done it to other girls in this competition. She did it to Uma. She did it to really, it was just Uma and Makayla. Like, it just felt like Xana was literally poking the bear at Uma and Makayla this entire competition and that one time at Sinjina. But those are the only people she really did that to a lot. And so Makayla was fed up. I saw the discourse online, and I'm like, baby, I understand Makayla in that moment. And I think even after, once it was said and done, I think even Xana understood where Makayla was coming from. Like they said, they figured it out, they patched it up, they have resolution over it, and that's it.
No, I want to, because you said it. The thing that I really loved with Xana, because everything, like she said what she said, whatever, and she, even when Makayla was off and the girls were trying to explain, like, oh, we understand why Makayla feels that way, Xana was still not, like, she was still saying, like, I didn't do anything, which, okay, maybe it takes some time to process, whatever, but at that time she was like not seeing her part in it. But when Makayla came back and they were talking and all of that, Xana said, and I wrote it down because I loved what she said. She someone asked if Makayla was ready to like talk about it in that moment, and Makayla said no, change the fucking conversation.
Absolutely.
But Xana said she's respectful of Makayla's feelings, and she says, if that's how she feels right now in this moment, that is how she feels right now in this moment. I'd love to resolve this, but I'll respect whatever route you'd wish to take here. And I, as much as I didn't really like the way that Xana came from Makayla, I really like that she was the one person that was like, I am not going to tell you how to feel. You have every right to be mad at me. I want to solve this whenever you feel comfortable. That's everything that you can do, truly. I love that that was her response, the bow that she put on it, you know. Yeah.
And I think that's how it should be, because if you hurt somebody, you can't then turn around and tell them or expect them to be okay with you right away. They have to deal with that and process it and go through all the feelings. And you need to respect that and let them go through that process. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It might not happen right away. It might take a long time. Whatever, you need to respect it because you caused this person that pain. So if you're going to cause that person, it clearly
they're friends.
They're friends now. So if you, message to everybody, intention or not intent, good intent or bad intent, if you hurt someone, if you hurt someone's feelings, you have to allow that person the space to get through those feelings before they can come back to you and be ready to resolve it. Because sometimes it takes people a little while. Some issues are quick to resolve. Some issues take a while to resolve, and you don't own that person's time. So you can't decide how long it should take for them to process their feelings. So if you hurt somebody and you know you did it, allow them the space to go through their process and come to you. Be like,
and you sit in your discomfort of having
period.
heard, and you think,
Absolutely. You think
both
about it.
people need to process what happened is the thing.
Absolutely. And you let them know. Yes, you can let them know. The door is open for you once you have processed this to come to me. I will be here for you when you're ready, but I'm not going to push it. Because the moment you start pushing somebody to do something before time, it's never going to work out. And I think that is the reason why Makayla and Xana are friends now to this day, because Xana left the door open and gave Makayla her time and her space. And I love that for them.
Yes.
But
absolutely. And then they changed the fucking conversation.
They changed the conversation because because Makayla told them they should do that. And I love that. I love that. But
she was not having it at all.
No. The judges did hear the yelling, so they were like, oh my God. While they were doing it, did somebody quit? But look, Brooklyn being messy, I want to listen, but they went to work.
I want to see what's happening.
I want to see what's happening. But they go to work and they talk their thing and they figure out their order. So the girls come back. We get our top two. Our top two of the week was Minhi Wang and Helena Poison. I could see it.
Correct.
I wasn't mad. Wasn't mad with that at all. With our winner,
would have a top three though. I would have.
I would have a top three. Makayla
Minhi,
would be
Helena,
in that top
and
three.
Makayla, but
absolutely. But it's okay. Makayla and Perla were called safe. We did have Minhi wins the challenge. She gets the trip to Punta Cana. Nice. But then
we will be, just because we didn't mention, but we will be talking about the Queen's runway looks on Look Over Here.
Look Over Here.
As we discussed the looks for the challenge here, but for the Queen's runway, you got to check out Look Over Here.
Absolutely. I think Logan said it earlier, but just in case.
Well, my brain forgot.
It doesn't matter.
Reminder then.
Just a reminder. Look over here, though. Always remind you to look over here. But our bottom two was Xana and the Virgo Queen, which we kind of expected. And I agree. I agree. But we did in the Untucked, we had, Virgo they changed the conversation because Virgo was like, if I'm in the bottom, just know if you lip sync and get it, make sure you get it together. Xana was like, I'm clearly in the bottom. We'll see what happens. Yada, yada, yada. And they lip synced to Celine Dion. And when they said what the song was and what it was, I was like, oh, I know this song. Is this going to be a song in Virgo's wheelhouse? I was nervous. I was concerned. But then I was like, but is this also a song that's in Xana's wheelhouse? Because we've seen Xana lip sync before. And I don't know if this ballad was in either one of their wheelhouses. But for me, I enjoyed this lip sync more than I thought I was. I was like, because I love a good ballad. Don't get me wrong. I love a good ballad. I like a good park and bark. I love it. But I was like, these two queens are not park and bark queens. These two queens are, moving, popping, shaking, dancing, sexy kind of queens. And so I was wondering how they were going to do this. And I was impressed by both of them, actually. I was like, oh. But for me, it was a clear winner. I felt like somebody was a little bit more composed and felt the musicality just flowed through them. And it was just like they performed the song while the others sang the song, if that makes sense. For me, the Virgo Queen absolutely devoured this lip sync. I think she was giving the camera very much eye contact, and I felt like, when somebody is musically inclined and they definitely know what they're doing and they are a singer, she knows the little, how to, what parts of the song you do the vibrato on and what parts it's like this was a song that she was singing in a performance, in a Virgo Queen performance. Like if Virgo was going to perform this at a Virgo show, and she's giving the audience, she's working for those tips. Baby, she was working for those tips. It was moments where she was like doing runs where she knew the runs were coming and her mouth was doing it. It was like, I was just like, okay, I see. I enjoyed it.
Well, see, okay. I thought the lip sync was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because this happened. This happens a lot with me, at least. If I don't know the song, it takes me a little while. But if the song is good, first of all, and if the lip sync is good, it doesn't matter if I don't know the song. It truly doesn't matter. But this time, because I didn't know the song, and although I think the song is good because it's come on, it's Celine.
It's Celine Dion, absolutely.
It really, I did maybe because I didn't connect with the song. I thought the lip sync was good. But it didn't really move me in any direction, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I think it was a fine. I enjoyed it. I think they both did good. I definitely agree that Virgo did better, for sure.
Yes.
For sure. But yeah, overall, for me, it was a good lip sync. You know, nothing too crazy, but also not bad.
Good. I get it. I understand. I'm like, okay. I enjoyed it. I thought it was.
Maybe I gotta rewatch it. I don't know. Maybe I gotta watch
it. Who knows? Maybe, like you said, it's just if you don't really connect with the song, sometimes because I am that way. If I don't connect with the song, I'm just like, yeah, no. But since I knew the song, connected with the song, I'm like, yeah, I kind of like it. But for me, like we said, Virgo did the best for me, and apparently she did the best for the judges because Xana was eliminated, and I was like, oh no.
Going out with a bang. I mean,
with a what an bang, episode. Baby. How do you go out? This is how you go out. But I was like sad, but then I was like, I always remember after watching this episode, I never remember going into it. I have to watch it, and I was like, oh, we get to talk to Xana? And then I was like, oh, right. I get to talk to Xana, and I also didn't always say the nicest things about Xana on this podcast. And so I'm a little like, well, Julie, how do we feel about
she can dish it? She can dish it. So I'm pretty sure she can take it. You know what? She was living for you in the beginning of the season in your commentary. So you know what? I think it's gonna be fine.
I think she'll be fine. But I like I said, my journey with Xana is very much a full circle moment with that. And so I've come to the point, I'm like, I think Xana's ready for me, and I think I'm ready for Xana. So I can't wait. I can't wait to talk to Xana on Monday. So that's going to be
what I can say is I agree with her being like with everything. I agree with the results, all of that. But honestly, I just have to say this would not have been the same season without her.
No. Oh, absolutely not.
She gave us great TV moments. Was she my favorite every time? No, but she was entertaining every single time she was on the screen, and she served some great looks. Shout out to the alien one, incredible. I mean, come on now.
Her promo looks still fabulous. Her promo looks still amazing.
Oh yes, and I'm sure that producers loved her on this season. So I am absolutely sure this is not the last we're seeing of Xana in this reality television franchise. For sure.
Oh, absolutely not.
She will absolutely be back.
Not. For sure. And I can't wait to see what she brings. Look, I can't wait to see what she does next time. You know what I mean?
Can't wait to see how this turns out.
I cannot wait.
Yes.
Period. I don't have the draft update. I was looking for it. I don't have it. So Logan or David didn't give it to me, but I'm sure it's in the sheet. I just don't feel like going looking for it. So guess what? You all will get the draft. We'll get the draft update next week because honestly, who cares right now? I'm probably not winning. Look, I'm probably not winning, so who cares?
I'm losing, so I don't care. You know, the less I know,
we
the
don't
better.
care about
Honestly.
we don't care about a draft that we're at the bottom of the pack for. Who cares? But we are going to do our look over here so we can get all the looks on the wardrobe malfunction. So make sure you check that out when it drops. We're going to end it here because we got look over here to do. But we appreciate you taking the time to spend it with us, talking about Canada's Drag Race. It's been a joy. It's been a pleasure. And we hope to see you next week because we do have more Drag Race to talk about with Canada. And we have our exit interview on Monday coming out. So be on the lookout for that when we get talking to the beautiful and the wonderful and the talented and the drama starter, Xana herself. Xana do, Xana don't, but she did. And I am excited about that. Follow us on all of our channels. All of the channel links will be in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links, our Patreon. You could follow us all of our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. You can also get your merch at lanagcreation.etsy.com. All those links will be in the description below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button because duh, you have to do it. And so we're going to get out of here. And so cheers, y'all. Bye.